All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling something absolutely critical for anyone working on a multi-cloud platform: architecting for resilience. In the world of multi-cloud, you can drown in data. We're going to cut through all that noise and focus on the handful of key performance indicators, the KPIs, that actually tell you if you're building something that lasts. So let me ask you something, straight up. Is your platform genuinely resilient? Like, is it actually designed to handle failure and bounce back? Or is it maybe just a really complex setup that, hasn't had its really bad day yet? That's the core question we're going to get to the bottom of. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about what I call the multi-cloud fog. Then we'll find our way out with a set of core KPIs. Think of it as your compass. We'll look at how to measure health, what a great dashboard looks like, why multi-cloud makes this all harder, and then how to actually architect for resilience. If you're a platform engineer, you know this feeling. Managing multi-cloud is like trying to fly a plane in a dense fog. You've got a dashboard for AWS, another for Azure, something else for Google Cloud. You're swimming in conflicting data, and you have no single clear view of what's really going on. But what if you had a compass? That's exactly what a small, carefully chosen set of KPIs gives you. These aren't just more numbers to track. Nope, these are your instruments. They cut through the fog and give you a clear, unmistakable sense of direction. And the key here is to focus. We're going to zero in on just four. I call them the core four: availability, deployment frequency, mean time to repair, or MTTR, and cost per request. That's it. Think of these as the north, south, east, and west on your compass. Okay, so we have our compass points. Now let's really dig in and see what each of these instruments is telling us, because understanding the story behind each KPI is how you get that complete picture of your platform's health. First up, availability. And yeah, this one sounds pretty basic, right? It's just the percentage of time your service is up and running and available to the people who need it. Simple as that. But here's the thing. Don't mistake simplicity for a lack of importance. Availability is not just some technical stat. It is the ultimate measure of your user's experience. If your service is down, literally nothing else you do matters. It is the absolute bedrock of reliability. So what should you aim for? Well, a really common target in the industry is 3 nines, or 99.9% availability. This gives you a tangible goal to design for and to measure yourself against. Okay, next point on our compass, deployment frequency. This one is all about how often your team is successfully pushing new code out into the wild, into production. It's not just about pushing code. It's about the whole rhythm and flow of your delivery pipeline. And what this tells you is huge. It's basically a health check for your internal processes. If you're deploying frequently, it's a great sign you have an agile team, an efficient workflow, and a pipeline you can trust. It means you're delivering value fast. So what's the goal here? For the best teams out there, the target is simply on demand. That means you can deploy whenever you need to, multiple times a day, once a week, it doesn't matter, without a big, scary, drama-filled process. Our third KPI is MTTR. That stands for mean time to repair, and it measures the average time it takes from the moment a failure pops up in production to the moment it's totally fixed and your service is back to normal. And this is so important. A low MTTR isn't about how fast your engineers can type under pressure. No way. It's a measure of your system's innate resilience, its ability to recover, often automatically. It's about building a system that can heal itself. It's about recovery, not finger-pointing. A really strong target to shoot for is getting that MTTR under 30 minutes. That ensures that when things do break, and they always do, the blast radius for your users is as small and as short as possible. And our final core KPI, cost per request. This is where engineering meets the business. It's pretty simple to calculate. You just take your total infrastructure bill for a period and divide it by the number of user requests you handled. And this metric is just brilliant. Why? Because it directly connects every single architectural decision you make to real business value. It answers that crucial question, are we running this thing efficiently? It's what keeps your platform not just working, but financially healthy. Okay, now let's bring it all together. Because the real power of these 4 KPIs is when you see them all in one place, on a single, unified dashboard. This is how you create that single source of truth we were talking about. Just look at this example. In one quick glance, you see it all: availability, deployment frequency, MTTR, and cost per request. You've got your target right next to your current status. Are we hitting our availability goal? Is our cost going up? This, right here, is what clarity and control look like. But
You knew there was a but coming, right? There's a complication. The second you have a real multi-cloud strategy, actually getting these clean numbers gets a whole lot harder. The complexity just explodes.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Take cost per request. On a single cloud, piff, it's a pretty simple calculation from one bill. But in a multi-cloud world, now you're trying to stitch together different bill formats from different vendors, and you got to hunt down all those hidden costs like data transfer fees between clouds. It's a completely different ballgame. Which brings us to our final, and honestly, our most important point. Using these KPIs isn't just about measuring stuff. It's about fundamentally changing your mindset. From being a reactive firefighter who's always putting out the next blaze, to being a proactive architect who designs resilience from the ground up. And this right here is the core message. Resilience doesn't just happen. You don't get lucky and end up with a reliable, efficient platform. It has to be designed. It has to be architected with intention. And these 4 KPIs, they are the blueprint for that architecture. So, I'll leave you with this. We've shown you that your KPIs are so much more than numbers on a screen. They're the actual blueprint for building a resilient platform. The only question left is, what are you building?